Okay, this short video is about depth of field. And depth of field is directly linked to the size of the aperture. Look here on the left, we have camera controls. Okay, I'm set at ISO 800. I'm not going to worry about speed yet. f1.2, that's the aperture. Okay, the size of the opening, the little hole that lets in light inside the lens. Okay, the lower the number, the bigger the hole. And that's because this is really expressed as a fraction. This is really, for the sake of exercise, this is 1 over 1.2, so it's pretty close to 1 to 1. By contrast, 1 over 16, that's 1/16th, so that's a smaller opening. Okay. So smaller opening lets in less light, larger opening lets in more light. Okay, so let's go to the camera controls. 1/800th. All right, let me go to live view. Let's see if we look and see what the camera is seeing. Let's open this up to 1.2. This is what the camera is seeing. So it's a big aperture, it's wide open. If I close down, make it smaller, it's not letting in much light. So if it's not letting in much light, I have to expose it for longer. Okay, so it has to be smaller aperture, longer time. Larger aperture, shorter time. Actually, let's see what 25th is probably closer. There you go. Okay. Now, since this aperture is really big, it has what we call a very shallow depth of field. If I focus on this little cup here, see how it's focused on this area back here? But everything in the foreground, as it gets closer and closer to us, is more and more out of focus. And as I shift the focus to the foreground, everything in the background gets less in focus. I'm going to try and hit it right in the middle. At this f1.2 is going to have a very shallow depth of field, meaning we're focused at this distance, but close to the camera and far away from the camera is out of focus. Let's take that picture. Now that range from where things start getting in focus to the focal point and beyond to where they start getting out of focus, that is the depth of the field. We can stretch that by changing the aperture. I make it smaller, and there's more stuff around here that's in focus. Put these up side by side. Okay. Aperture of 16, so 1/16th, f16. I'm focusing on this black measuring cup. You can see that in front of it is a little bit in focus, and the plate and measuring cup in the back are in focus. Whereas on the left image at f1.2, larger aperture, the front gets out of focus really fast, and this measuring cup gets out of focus. So at a very large aperture, the thing we focus on is probably the only thing that's going to be in focus. At a smaller aperture, obviously the thing that we're focusing on is in focus, but more stuff around it, front and back of it, is in focus. Look at the difference in this, this red thermos. Small aperture f16, the red thermos is in focus. Large aperture f1.2, the thermos is out of focus. you can exploit that and make some interesting pictures. Let's see. Let's bring our focal point here. Oh, I'm going the wrong way. Now that was at f16, so it's focused right here. That should be sharp, and a little bit in front, a little bit behind is sharp as well. If we step down, or open up, sorry, to 1.2, let's see the difference between those two. Okay, f16, small opening, deeper field of focus. So the front of this is in focus, a little bit behind's out of focus, but this guy is in focus. So is this cup, measuring cup. At f1.2, wide open, it's in focus right here, but we lose focus really quickly. Okay? Actually, look how blurry this background is versus here. So that's depth of field. That's something to be aware of, and something we can exploit later on.